Welcome to the Nadex Application and Strategy webinar series presented to you by Daryl Martin from ApexInvesting.com. In this video, what we're going to do a quick overview of the Ultimate Hedge strategy to help you get the concept of just how powerful this strategy is and what it can do for you. To get access to more free videos and other great benefits and get more details about this strategy, go to www.apexinvesting.com. In this video, you're going to learn how to do the same trades you're doing now on futures and forex, but combine them with Nadex spreads in order to hedge your trades. You're also going to learn how to get stop losses for pennies on the dollar, how to have more time to be right, and how to use Nadex spreads to hedge so you have no cap on your profits. Another name for the Ultimate Hedge strategy is the Open Box strategy, because it opens up the box spreads on Nadex to where you have no cap on your profit by using them as a hedge for the underlying market. So before we get started on the Ultimate Hedge strategy, let's do a quick review of the bull-bear box spreads on Nadex on the gold spread. On the gold spread, what we're doing is we're looking at a gold contract, and we're looking at having a floor and a ceiling of $16.50 for the floor and $17.00 for the ceiling. And what this will do for you is it'll allow you to have a trade on, and this trade expires at 10 a.m., that has a good large range, but also will allow you to not worry about getting stopped out on a trade. So again, as a review, let's go ahead and check out how the point increment moves or the tick increment moves on a Nadex spread. On all Nadex spreads, the last digit is the tick, okay, the last increment there. So if it quotes in 1700.0, then you see 0.0, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, so every one of those is a tick. On every single Nadex spread, every tick is always worth $1. So I move from 1700 down to 16.99, that's $1. If it moves down to 99.8, that's $2. 99.7, that's $3. If it moves all the way down, you get a $10 move by moving 1 point. All right, so with that review, let's look at what happens if we sold this spread at 1697.5. Well, that would give us a risk of $25 on the spread, okay? Because we're 2.5 points or 25 ticks away from the ceiling of the spread, which is 1700. So since we're 25 ticks away, every tick being worth $1, it's a 25 tick risk. So we go in and we do the trade, and we got to look at what is the spread worth. Well, the spread is worth 500 points, 500 ticks. So at $500 value spread and it's $25 risk, what's the balance? The balance is $475. That's our potential risk that we can make on the trade. So we can make a potential $475 and we could lose a maximum of $25. And no matter how high gold goes against us, we won't lose more than $25. In addition, we have time until the expiration of the spread to be right. And spreads trade anywhere from 2 hours to 22 hours and 15 minutes long. And so if gold's going in and it goes down and keeps going down and then keeps going down, then you're in that spread there. And so you can sell it at any time. So let's say you decide to sell the spread. Remember, you originally sold it at 1697.5, so you can buy it back whenever you want to. So let's say you bought it back at 1685.5. Well, that'd be 12.0 points or 120 ticks, which is a $120 profit on a $25 risk. Now, you also could have let it expire. Now, if it expired at 1672.5 and your entry was 1697.5, the difference between 1697.5 and 1672.5 would be 25 points or 250 ticks, okay? So 25.0 divided by 0.1 because it ticks in 0.1, all right? So that'd be a $250 profit on a $25 risk. So literally 10 times profit on the risk, or a 10 to 1 reward to risk ratio is how the trade turned out in this example. So now let's look at a case study on gold. And let's look at the same gold trade, the same spread that we just looked at, but now let's assume that you also, in addition to selling the spread, you bought the gold future contract because your indicators, your system, your news, or whatever signal it is that you're subscribed to told you to buy gold if it hits 1698. And if you're looking at technically, maybe if it just dips below the 1700 line, that's where you're looking to buy. Now, you're a good trader, right? Or at least you're a responsible trader, and so you want to limit your risk as a futures trader. So let's say, again, if you didn't have the spread, you're just doing the future outright, you want to limit your risk, and so you go in and you buy the gold future at 1698. And you set your stop loss at 1695. Okay, that gives you a 3-point stop loss, 3.0. On a gold futures contract, every tick, which it ticks in 0.1, so 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, every tick on a gold futures contract is worth $10. So a move from 1700 down to 1699.9 would be a move of a $10 value. Well, since you have a 3.0 risk, you have a 30 tick risk on this trade, then every tick is worth $10. That gives you a $300 risk. So understanding that gold has a minimum tick value of $10, okay, and a gold spread. Remember, every tick on the Nadex exchange, all the spreads, is always worth $1. So a gold spread has a tick value of $1. So you want to equalize them. You want to know what that ratio is. So you need 10 gold spreads to equal 1 gold future. So that way every tick is worth $10 on the spreads because you own 10 of them or you've sold 10 of them. And that equals 1 tick being $10 on a gold future contract. This is really important when you do the hedge strategy that you have the right ratio, because if the gold future moves against you, the Nadex spread will help cover the loss on what the gold future is losing. This is also known as a hedge. So that's whenever you're helping hedge your risk. So what we can do is let's pull up that same gold chart we were just looking at, and let's look at the 1650 to 1700 spread. Expires at 10 a.m. And if we sold the spreads at 1697.5, but we bought, in addition to selling 10 spreads, remember, because we need 10 to equalize it, to hedge it, we buy 1 gold future at 1698. Well, what's the hedge value? What's the spread's value? Well, the hedge value, if you take 1700 minus 1650, that's 50 points. 50.0 is 500 points. Every tick's worth $1. So therefore, we have a $500 hedge. If we subtract the $25 cost per spread, then the hedge per spread is $475. Now, if we do 10 spreads, then we have a $4,750 hedge per gold future contract. So gold can go against us by $4,750, and the spread could make $4,750. So this entire area is our hedge zone. You could say this is the area where the spread can make money if the future loses money. So gold goes in, we buy the future, we sell the spread, and it drops down against us. Now this would be a pretty large loss right here. It's actually a $2,800 loss on 1 gold futures contract. However, if we go in and let's look at it as a hedge, okay? Remember, if you just did the future, that'd be a large loss. Well, what does the hedge do for us? So we have a $4,750 hedge per future by selling the spread at 1697.5. And if we bought the future at 1698, what is our risk going to be? Now remember, if you had a 3-point stop loss, you'd have a $300 risk, okay? And then, of course, you can make unlimited profit as far as gold moves on the upside. But what about the hedge? What's our risk on that? What's our profit potential on that? Well, the hedge risk is really simple to calculate. All it is the difference between where you bought the future and you sold the spread. Or, if you're going the other direction, where you bought the spread and sold the future. So if we bought 1 gold future contract at 1698 and we sold 10 spreads at 1697.5, the difference is 0.5. Well, 5 points or ticks, every tick being worth $10, means our risk is only $50 on this trade, versus if we had a 3-point stop loss on just an outright future without a hedge, having a $300 risk. So we get a 30-tick stop loss versus we actually end up having a 475-tick stop loss, because remember, gold can go all the way down to 1650 for our hedge. This shows that your hedge zone again goes all the way down, 475 ticks, all the way down to 1650. Now you have your neutral zone, okay? And remember, we have a $50 risk. So gold needs to make $50 while the spread is losing money, okay? So gold makes money, the spread loses money, and once gold makes the extra $50 to cover that risk, then it's in the hedge profit zone. And it has an unlimited profit potential. So this becomes an uncapped or an open box. So with this ultimate hedge strategy, you have no limit on how you can make on the futures contract on the upside as soon as you pass through that neutral zone. And the whole benefit here being a $50 risk with a $4,750 stop loss versus a $300 risk with only a 3-point or a 30-tick stop loss. The reason this works so well is because the Nadex spreads have capped risk. No matter how high gold goes above 1700, the spread won't lose any additional money. Okay, it's capped at $25 in this case, or $250 on 10 of them. All right, so since your risk is completely capped, it stops losing, and the future keeps making money. However, since you have all that profit on the downside on the spread, it hedges you if gold was to move against your trade. So now let's flip it around, and let's say we're short gold futures and we bought the spreads. Okay, so if I buy 10 gold spreads, 1700 to 1750, okay, and they expire at 10 o'clock, and I sell one future at, we'll say, 1700. My hedge value is going to be 4,750. That's going to be 1750. So way up here, 1750 down to 1700. So if gold were to move against us, then the hedge would be making money all the way up to 1750. So this now becomes my hedge profit zone, unlimited profit zone. Okay. So as far as gold moves down, I can make money. And then we have our neutral zone. So we talked about that. That's where basically gold has to make back the money that the spread has lost. And this is a really good point I want to emphasize right here, is if you're in a winning trade on the futures contract and your spread expires, you don't have to close your gold future. Okay? Now, if you're in a losing trade, then you want to close the gold spread and the gold future at the same time in order to cap off that risk and, eliminate it. But you could literally start moving your stop down, and if gold keeps dropping, you could keep trading the gold futures contract all the way down, so you're not limited to the expiration time on a winning trade. And then we have our hedge zone, which goes, again, all the way up to 1750, a $4,750 stop loss. And remember, if we were short gold and we had a 3-point stop loss, we'd have a $300 risk and only, literally 30 ticks protecting us. This gives us 475 ticks and a $4,750 stop loss. So again, the future also having the uncapped profit potential, but this allows the future to have the uncapped profit potential with the hedge to limit your risk. All right, so what would our risk on this trade be? Well, let's say we, again, sold gold at 1700 and we bought 10 spreads at 1702.5. So since we're right at the money there, there's a little bit more premium built in. So it's 2.5 points or 25 ticks. Every tick being worth $10 because we have one gold future and 10 spreads. That's a $250 risk versus the $300 risk, which is pretty close, but check it out. You only have a 30-tick stop loss if you just do the futures contract. But if you do the hedge, you have a 475-tick stop loss. So gold could go against you by $4,750, and the most you could be down would be $250. And again, that's only a 2.5-point move in gold. In addition, both of them have an uncapped profit potential as far down as gold moves. So if you have a 10, a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50, or even a 100-point day, then you can capture that profit as long as you're trailing your stop all the way down with it, because you don't have to close your trade even if your hedge expires out. Another important point to make right here is, let's say you're in a trade and you do take off the profit and later gold rises up. Well, once you're profitable, you can close your future contract, and if your gold spread is at maximum loss, leave it on. Because by the end of the trading day, gold could actually retrace before that spread expires, and you could actually make money on both sides of the trade. So 4 quick and easy steps. One, of course, you got to choose your entry and your ideal exit on your underlying market, just so you can compare what the risk would be versus doing the hedge strategy. Well, choose your spread, and when you're choosing your spread, you want to consider the timed expiration. You want to consider how far it has to move to be at break even, that neutral zone, and you want to consider what your risk is. So, which is always, again, where you buy one and sell the other. Then you want to calculate and compare if just the spread or the hedge, being the future with the spread, has a lower risk. Once you figure out which trade you want to do, whether you want to do just the spread or you want to do the hedge, being the future and the spread, or the forex and the spread, then enter and exit your trade. And remember, if you exit profitably on the underlying market and the spread still has timed expiration, it's at maximum loss, leave it on, because you may make money, because it may go back up and you can make money on both sides of the trade. Go to nadex.com today to open a live or demo account so you can test out this strategy on your current futures and forex trades. Also visit us at apexinvesting.com right now to learn more about how to hedge underlying markets with Nadex spreads. In addition, you'll get access to the ratio spreads to use in order to hedge the underlying markets using spreads traded on the Nadex exchange.